Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Jake Adams. I'm a CPA, and my company is Realtors Tax Strategy. And today we're going to be talking about the top tax tips for real estate agents. I want to share with you a couple tax deductions that have been taken. That's kind of funny. So a couple things. One, a real estate agent tried to write off a riding lawnmower to trim the grass around his for sale signs. Oh, well, the tax court said, no, that's not going to fly. Another real estate agent tried to write off bottles of whiskey that he gave to his clients. And he tried to write them off as client entertainment. Well, unfortunately, that didn't fly either. They didn't like that too much. And of course, a lot of times people ask me, well, I have my clients or potential clients that are going to my daughter's or my son's wedding. Can I write off the cost of the wedding since I have clients going? Unfortunately not. That would be a huge tax deduction though. But let's share a couple true tax deductions. So you can actually write off a corporate jet to fly to your rental property if a commercial flight is infrequent or unavailable. If it's easier to get there with a commercial jet, you can write off the commercial jet. So if it's easier to fly a corporate jet because a commercial flight is either infrequent or unavailable, you can write off the cost of a corporate jet, which can be $30,000 to $70,000 a flight. Also, if you meet with clients at your house, you can write off the cost of landscaping, lawn care, and driveway repairs. And also, if you like to donate your time to nonprofits, or you like to go for charity events, and you hire a babysitter, well, your babysitter while you attend or help those nonprofit organizations is also tax deductible. Let's talk about some more. If you host a sales meeting and there's more than 12 people there, you could write off the entire cost of the food. It's 100% deductible. It's not limited to the normal 50% because it's for a sales meeting. Also, you may be aware that client gifts are limited to $25 per person. And concert tickets are considered entertainment. And you don't necessarily even have to go to the concert. You can just give them away. Well, they're not limited to the $25 per person as long as you discuss business the same day. It doesn't have to be right before or right after, but it has to be on that same day. So a couple other tax deduction myths. Your dog is not a security system. You can't take your food, pet visits, or cute outfits that you buy for your dog. Unfortunately, that just doesn't fly. You can't write off a meal with your spouse, even if you're discussing business. And lastly, unfortunately, your new suit is not a uniform. IRS is very strict on this. They say that anything that you can wear out and about on a normal daily wear is not considered a uniform and not deductible. So I always get asked the question, what's a red flag? How am I going to trigger a red flag, or how do I trigger an audit, and what can I do to protect myself from that? Well, the top 4 things that are going to get flagged for real estate agents is meals and client entertainment, mileage, client gifts, and travel. So how can you protect yourself against this? Well, the most important thing is don't go overboard. If you want to protect yourself from audit, don't put too much of your expenses into these categories. If you do, the chances are you might get audited. However, if you have full documentation of all these expenses, and you are 100% committed to keeping track of your expenses, who, what, where, when, why, and how, and making sure that everything is within legal limits, you have nothing to worry from an audit. So let's jump into meals and client entertainment. So it must be prearranged and it must have a set business purpose. So what I mean by this is if you go out to lunch to, let's say, Chipotle, and you say, hey, I'm a real estate agent. Does anyone want to buy a house? And everyone kind of looks at you like you're crazy. Is that a write-off? No, because you didn't really let any of those people know that you were going to be there and that you had a business purpose for being there. So unfortunately, you can't write that off. Now, what happens if you go and your friend Jerry's there? You didn't necessarily talk to him beforehand. You say, hey, Jerry, how you doing? Hey, are you in the market for buying a house? I know you just got married. That unfortunately does not count as a tax deduction either. It has to be prearranged. Now, the other thing that I get asked all the time is, I'm a real estate agent. I want to go talk to the waitress, right? See if she's buying or renting and see if she's in the market. He or she, the waitress or the waiter, right? Can I write off my meal because I asked them if they're interested in real estate? And the answer is no. It has to be prearranged. However, what you can do is if you talk to the waitress or the waiter and they say, yes, can you come back later or come back tomorrow? I'll be working the lunch shift. Then when you meet with them that second time, because it was prearranged, you can write that off. Now also, as I mentioned before, you can't write off your spouse or your kids if you go to dinner or lunch as a business expense. However, you can write off your spouse's meal if the client brings their spouse. So you have a 2 and 2. You can also write off your kids' meals if the client brings their kids. So if I have 2 kids and they have 3 kids, that's fine. We all bring the kids, we all go out to Applebee's or Fridays or something, and we can write off the entire meal. My kids, their kids, both spouses, everything. That's all the 50% meals entertainment. All right, so travel. I always get asked about travel. Well, travel is pretty specific as far as what you can and can't do. But one of my favorite loopholes in the travel tax system is that you can have business meetings in the Caribbean. They're tax deductible, and you don't really need to show that there was a reason for the location, right? Do I need to be on this beautiful white sandy beach? Maybe, maybe not. Could you have the same meeting in Wisconsin in the winter? Sure. So there's really no reason to show that we needed to have the meeting here at this beautiful resort here with the white sandy beaches. So this goes for Barbados, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Grenada, Honduras, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Trinidad, Tobago, any of these really fun destinations wherever you feel like going, you're more than welcome to go there. And actually that picture is wrong because it shows the Bahamas and Cuba, and those don't count. All right, so be smart, be prepared. What do I mean? Well, you should always use a calendar and an app to help track the mileage on your car. Always keep track of the 5 W's. That's who, what, where, when, why, and maybe how, for meals and entertainment. Now, also, you're going to want to have that for travel as well. If you want to take advantage of one of these beautiful white sandy beaches, just make sure that you have proper documentation. Why did you go there? If it was for a business meeting, have corporate records, have corporate documents, have meeting agendas and minutes and everything showing that you actually had a business meeting there. Because that's the last thing you want to do, is think that you're going to get a tax deduction and then have it challenged.